Aloha, good evening. Football fans across the state of Utah, welcome to the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. This is the Rewind Sports Network Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates. Tonight, from Tiger Stadium here in the heart of Utah Valley, it's a 5A Region 7 showdown between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Orem Tigers. And with my broadcast partner, proud Orem graduate at Gavin Atkinson, Alexander Timberlake, joining you from the top of Tiger Stadium. Gavin, first of all, welcome back to your old stomping grounds. And second of all, what a matchup we have tonight. Two of the best in Region 7 going at it here tonight.
Oh, it's so great to be back. All the memories coming back. But to the game, I just can't put into words how excited I am for this game. The Tigers are coming in off of a tough loss to Skyview last week. They had a third quarter meltdown, allowing 27 points in the third quarter, but they have looked excellent all season long. I'm excited to see how they bounce back, how the defense bounces back. And then on the other side, Maple Mountain 6-0. They were 6-6 last year, really have figured it out this year. Really excited to see their offense go, and both of these defenses, barring that last game from Orem, have been excellent throughout this year.
Now that's the thing I want to talk to you about, Gavin, coming off the top, is how good these two defenses are. Of course, Orem struggled a little bit that second half, gave up a lot of points in the second half last week against the Skyview Bobcats, but you have to think coming into this game that defensive coordinator Josh Arnold has had to figure some things out this week, because we know this Orem team is a lot better than what that 60-59 score said last week defensively.
And Orem's offense, it's just so tough because you have Falete Iongi and then you have Kawe Akana, both on the offense, both just incredible weapons for the quarterback to use. And it's so hard to stop them both. You can take away one of them, but you can't take away both. I'm curious to see how Maple Mountain responds to both of those guys, if they can take them both out of this game.
Now let's take to the other side, the Maple Mountain side of things for the defense for Orem. Maple Mountain's got some weapons of their own. Of course, Coach Kalen Hall, okay, everybody thinks, okay, Banks Jackson's graduated. They're going to probably have a little bit of a struggle finding their offense. Instead, Mason Jensen comes in, and he's got one of the best running backs in the state of Utah coming in, and number 7, Eli Monga.
And Eli Monga, 96 carries on the year, 7 touchdowns. He is just so great for this offense, giving them balance, because then Mason Jensen has 14 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, and then his 2 top receivers, Derek Morehouse and Max Stonebreaker, have been excellent all year, combining for 41 receptions and 6 touchdowns.
And let's not forget Brooks Ross as well. Last week against Wasatch, just 3 catches, but 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. If the Orem Tigers are hopeful to stop any sort of offense here tonight, are hopeful to stop or helpful to get back on track defensively, they are going to be looking at a tough ask here tonight. The Orem City Band is performing. The Maple Mountain Golden Eagles are coming onto the field. We will take a break, and we will come back for a very special national anthem and pregame ball presentation. Gavin, I hope you're ready, buddy. This game is going to be something special here tonight.
I'm just so excited. So great to be back, and we've got a great game in store for you tonight.
This is the Rewind Sports Network and the Game of the Week presented by Heidemann and Associates. We'll have the national anthem and the special game ball presentation on this homecoming night here in the heart of the Valley. Beckham Curtis back to receive, along with Faleti Iongi. Bonuelos to kick off. We hope you're ready. It's another Friday night in Utah, and we couldn't be happier to be with you. Let's play. And this will be a touchback out to the 20-yard line, and here come the Tigers offense
in the end zone
for the first time.
Tigers begin 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
They're led by quarterback Taden Kaava, who replaces the incumbent last year, LR3, Lance Reynolds III. Remarkable story of Lance Reynolds III, in case nobody remembers it. Reynolds III tore his ACL in the second game of the season and played on that torn ACL for veritably half the year before his father, LR2, the coach, finally told him, you need to take care of yourself. But Ka'ava has come in and he has done an incredible job of guiding this offense. He starts with 4 wide receivers, running back in the backfield on 1st and 10. Iyongi in motion, they hand to him on the fly sweep. It's Ka'ava keeping it, and Ka'ava gets brought down after a short pickup of about maybe 4 yards by Easton Kojima.
And I love the play design there, Alex, because Iyongi is incredibly fast. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that kid run that jet sweep, get to the edge of the field, and go for 80 yards. So he pulls it, defense bites on Iyongi, and Ka'ava able to get 4 yards.
2nd down and 6 now. Oliver Bills is the one in the backfield with the quarterback Ka'ava, who will throw for the first time here tonight. He's pressured off the edge, throws up the sideline, got a man open, and it is broken up. And the play out there made on the edge
Pass intended for number 6
by Parker Murray, the safety. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Great job by the safety right there, just getting his hand in last second.
Parker Murray defending
blanket
for the
coverage
Eagles.
that entire route. Ka'ava had really nowhere to go. We'll see if the Tigers can convert on the 3rd down.
6 yards to go for the 1st down.
3rd down and 6 now here for Orem. Double wide receivers line up to either side. Ka'ava looking on 3rd down. Good protection. Penalty flag goes down. Rolls to his right. And now is going to go up the sideline. He gets out of bounds. Has the 1st down. But there's a flag down in the backfield that I suspect. This is coming back.
And what a great effort by Tayden Ka'ava. You know, it's going to be coming back due to pretty obvious hold. But you love to see him get out, scramble for those yards, do what you need to win. And we'll have a 3rd and long coming up.
Christopher Swank is the referee. We'll hear from him for the first time here tonight.
Holding. Offense number 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
Penalty called against the right tackle, Maui Tonata. Alexander Timolip, Gavin Atkinson on the Rewind Sports Network's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates. No scorer. We're just underway here between Maple Mountain and Orem. 3rd down and 16
yards for the 1st down
for the Orem Tigers. Ka'ava lines up in the backfield. He's got Bills to the right of him. And he takes the snap on the shotgun. Pressure coming off the edge. Ka'ava steps up in the pocket, now throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Good pressure up the middle, and the pass that time intended for Kalwe Akana falls incomplete, and it'll be 4th down.
And Maple Mountain right there does a great job of containing the quarterback. You've got the coverage down the field, not giving him any options down the field. And that was our first taste at this Maple Mountain defense and how incredible they can be. Brings on a punt, 3 and out, and Maple Mountain's right where they need to be. Going to have a short field for their offense to work with.
Kalwe Akana will punt the football away, and he gets a sidewinder off. This will take a sideways bounce, and it will go out of bounds close to the 46-yard line. The mark it officially at the 45, so that's where the Golden Eagles will start. And here comes Mason Jensen for the first time tonight.
Now, I touched on it in the pregame, but if you guys, came in a little late, Mason Jensen is a excellent quarterback, one of the best in 5A. 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with just under a 60% completion rating. Excited to see what he can do on this drive.
He will start with double wide receivers either side and the best running back in the region in Eli Maunga in the backfield. From the 45 of the Tigers. 1st and 10. Sawyer Leifson goes in motion as the H-back. Jensen throws that way. That pass is caught and getting shoved out of bounds after a pickup of about maybe 6 yards on the play.
Pass complete to number 2,
is number 2,
Morehouse.
Derek Morehouse.
Great play design right there. Get those 6 yards, and now you're 2nd down. Your entire playbook is
on the
open.
play. 2nd down.
Officially 7 yards of the pickup there for the Golden Eagles. Offensive coordinator, of course, is Brigham Fano. Leifson goes in motion. Handoff to the left side goes to Maunga. And Eli Maunga has a 1st down, powering his way behind left guard to about the 34-yard line, rather, and that's enough to move the sticks.
Inamonga on the carry, picking up the 1st down.
So first down of the game for Maple Mountain, just underway. Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson. This is the Rewind Sports Network and our Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates between Maple Mountain and Orem, after a short punt on a 3-and-out, has given Maple Mountain good field position as the Eagles are already inside of the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 34. Man goes in motion. Jensen back to pass, looking up the middle. Now he's going to get out of the pocket. Got a spy on him. Gets to the sideline, and you'll get out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. And a first down run on the scramble there for the quarterback, Jensen.
Golden Eagle first
and the
down.
speed of Mason Jensen just really at full display right now.
Outrunning
number 22, Dylan Dye, who's been a pretty solid running back for Orem so far this year. Gets the chains moved and gets it to the 20.
So into the red zone go the Golden Eagles for the first time here tonight. Triple wide receiver lines up in a stack to the right. Jensen in the shotgun. They show pressure off the edge. And they throw that way, and the pass is caught, but no one is fooled on that Orem defense. Felati Iyongi, who plays also as a safety, make the tackle on the receiver, number 18, Max Stonebreaker.
And you had number 4, Riker Mickelson, the linebacker, showing pressure and getting pressure on the quarterback. You know, it's that screen play, almost got that one out of the quarterback's hands.
6 yards lost on the play. Moves the ball back to the 26-yard line for Maple Mountain, 2nd and 16. Double wide receivers now go to either side. Maonga remains the single setback. 3 seconds on the play clock. Ross goes in motion. Jensen looking to throw. Throws up the seam into coverage, and it is caught! What a catch by Morehouse. He brings it down inside the 5.
Now, Jensen placed that ball perfectly. You had pressure coming. One of Orem's defenders was coming unblocked. Put that right where it needed to be, just floated it over the defender's head.
Derek Morehouse.
And we've got Maple Mountain on Orem's 1-yard line.
1st and goal.
Double back set now for Mason Jensen. 1st and goal from the 2. Handoff to Maongo, right side, and he powers his way in for a touchdown. And Maple Mountain strikes first, taking advantage of that short field.
And make it 8 for Eli Monga on the season. Really just an excellent running back, and behind every, or I guess I should say in front of every great running back is a great offensive line. Got a good push there.
1 man short on the extra point for Fernando Banuelos. Out of the hold of Morehouse. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 in favor of Maple Mountain with 8 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first quarter. Back after this word from Burke Brothers on the Rewind Sports Network. Fernando Banuelos ready to kick off for Maple Mountain. Alexander Timberlake alongside Gavin Atkinson here at Tiger Stadium here in Orem, Utah. Just like that, Maple Mountain up 7-0 on the Orem Tigers here tonight. Thank Burt Brothers for their sponsorship of Rewind Sports Network coverage of high school sports, where auto care is done better. Manuelos kicks this one off, and apparently he does kickoffs better than anyone else too, because he boots this baby right through the back of the end zone.
Kick into the end zone for the automatic touchback.
So that will bring out Tatum Kaava and this offense again, who went 3-and-out on their first possession. And if you're an Orem fan right now, you got to be thinking we need to put a drive together right away here in this game.
And if you're Orem, you don't hit the panic button yet. Obviously, you know, there's tons of time. Only 3 minutes off the clock from the start of the game. But that drive looked good until that holding penalty. They've got to find a way to better manage Maple Mountain's pass rush or get the ball out of the quarterback's hands sooner.
Play clock down to 10. Kaava from the shotgun, head off on a cutback. This is Iyongi. And Felate Iyongi gets about maybe a yard before he's cut down on the play by a host of white shirts.
Iyongi on the carry, picking up 1 yard.
Uhila Wolfgram on the stop there, among others.
2nd down.
And again, as Gavin said, that was a good drive. They picked up the 3rd down, but it was negated by penalty. So double backs here again for The quarterback, Taden Kaava, on 2nd and 9 from the 21. Iongi remains the single setback. They motion Beckham Curtis out of the backfield. They swing it to him on the outside, and he is chopped down right away. No one was fooled. That's Karsten Fagan, the corner.
The pass complete to number 23, Zach Graver.
And Zach Graver actually made the catch.
Maple Mountain doing a great job staying true to their zones, playing the cover 3, and there was just nowhere to go.
So yet another early third down here for this Orem offense. Triple wide receiver now lines up to the right. Graver lines up as the single setback. 4 men on the rush. They bring extra. Kaava throws. That is complete for the first down and more. And that is Feleti Iongi with the first down of the game for the Orem Tigers.
Pass complete to number 1, Feleti Iongi.
And you know, there's the saying, live by the sword, die by the sword. You live by the zone and you die by the zone. If you don't get pressure on the quarterback, those receivers will find the hole in the zone. That's what Orem did right there. Kaava making a great throw.
So first down of the game for Orem. 1st and 10 now from the 38-yard line. Double backs again in the set. Iongi lines up with Graver on either side of Kaava. They send Graver out in motion, making a triple wide receiver to the right, and the handoff goes to Iongi, and he gets about maybe 4 yards through that crease in the right side.
Iongi on the carry.
7-0 Maple Mountain just underway. We also like to welcome those of you who may be watching this game as part of the KSL Sports Rewind Friday Night Red Zone on the KSL Sports Zone, 97.5 FM, 1280 AM. Also, of course, your home of the Utah Hockey Club. Alexander Timolip and Gavin Atkinson joining you from the top of the Tiger Stadium press box. Now from the pistol, here is Taden Kaava on 2nd and 6. And the handoff up the middle this time goes to Iongi, and he hits a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And they'll bring up another third down here. Already the third one of the game. And we're just barely halfway through this first quarter here.
Iongi on the carry, stop
and
for no
so
gain.
Far, Maple Mountain has been dominating in the trenches.
6 yards to go for the first down.
That defensive line has just been able to get pressure consistently and get penetration into Orem's backfield.
Orem officially 1 for 2 on third downs here in this game. Already their third down, as we said, of this quarter. Double backs either side. Pressure coming on Kaava, and he goes down. He gets run over that time by the nose tackle, Grayson Archibald. And that's 4th down.
And just great pressure once again from Maple Mountain.
Number 72, Grayson
Archibald.
Archibald.
They bring 6 there, and Kaava had no time to find the open guy. Brings out an Orem punting unit again.
8 yards lost on the sack. Kalwe Akana will now punt the football again. Penalty flag goes down, and he hits another sidewinder. And Mortensen is going to pick this up on the run. Bit of a risky play. Able to break a tackle. And then gets swallowed up at about the 35-yard line, and we'll see what the flag is. Again, Christopher Swank is our official here tonight. The flag was thrown immediately at the line of scrimmage and at the snap.
Flag on the play.
So we'll see what this penalty is against and who it is on. Christopher Swank having a conversation. It is an illegal formation against the Orem Tigers. So he's asking Kalen Hall if he wants to re-kick or take it 5 yards up from the spot.
Illegal formation, kicking team, 5 in the backfield. 5 yards will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So Kalen Hall decides to take the penalty.
Attention, please. The Orem City Police Department is here writing tickets to cars that are parked illegally. If you're parked in an illegal zone or a red zone, we encourage you to move your car.
So Jensen and crew will now take over from the 40, 1st and 10. 5 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Maple Mountain already up 7-0. Here's a handoff right side to Maunga, and he finds a lane. And Maunga picks up about maybe 5 yards off left guard.
And if Orem's defensive line can't get some more pushback on that offensive line, it's going to be a long night. Eli Monga can take any space he gets and turn it into 5 yards.
From the 45 now, 2nd and 5. Maple Mountain, of course, boasting one of the best offensive lines, if not in 5A, at least in Region 7, at least in 5A for sure. 2nd and 5. Play clock down to 5. Mason Jensen looking to the sideline. Play clock down to 2, down to 1, and they just got it away. Jensen now looking to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. Rolls out to his left. Now throws on the run and throws it incomplete. Up the sideline, intended that time for Brooks Ross. Bring up 3rd down.
And that time we saw Orem kind of disguise their coverage. It looked like they were lined up in a man, single high safety, cover 1. But then they drop into a cover 2, cover 3 hybrid and do just enough.
Big 3rd down here. First 3rd down faced by Maple Mountain here tonight. Jensen brings a man in motion on 3rd and 5. He takes the snap. Pressure coming from his blind side. Throws. That is complete. And not going to get the first down as getting run over as Stonebreaker. And a good job by that Orem defense to force the 3 and out.
Number 18, Max Stonebreaker.
And you have to say, Gavin, that is an excellent answer by that Orem defense after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And we talk about how important momentum is in football. And like you said, excellent answer. Time to give your offense some momentum. See what they can do with it.
Sawyer Leifson will now punt it away to Feleti Iyongi, who is standing back with heels on his 17. Leifson kicks it away from Iyongi down toward that corner, goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. And the official will mark it.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, the region rules prevent any artificial noisemakers.
We'll mark it, I believe, at the 28-yard line. So that'll be 1st and 10. It's a good time to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the Game of the Week is presented by Heidemann and Associates, the full-service law firm that goes above and beyond the call for the clients they serve. Call them today or visit them online to schedule your free consultation, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Alexander Timolip, Gavin Atkinson.
For the Tigers from the 28-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 28-yard line following the stop. Here is a sweep to the near side to Iyongi. Gets a block, breaks a tackle, and then gets run over by the pursuit. Easton Kojima, among others, on the stop.
Feleti Iyongi on the carry.
Orem doing a great job of getting that outside edge set. Able to get those 5 yards. That's a great start for 1st down. 2nd down, you got 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, and your drive's off to a good start.
Crowd starting to file in here to Tiger Stadium on this beautiful Friday night. As we're approaching 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Maple Mountain. Kaava to throw. Throws, passes, deflected. Almost caught, actually, but good timing on the play to break up the pass by cornerback Eli Maunga, who plays as also the free safety back there as the nickelback, and it's 3rd down again.
And a great pass breakup.
First down.
But that play makes me start to think Orem's offense is adjusting a little bit to the pressure, getting that ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. That time it didn't work out because of the great play by the defense.
So Maunga has the touchdown, now he has a PBU. 3rd down and 6 now for Kaava and Co. 4 men on the line, and they bring 4. Kaava looking downfield, throws, got Iyongi down the seam, and it's broken up. Maunga got his hand on it at the very last second, and Iyongi had to go right through his hands, and if it wasn't for Maunga getting his hand on that thing, Gavin, Iyongi might have been gone.
Oh, and he's going to be thinking about that one all night because that one did hit him in the chest. It was a great defense played by Maunga, but just enough catchable ball, and Orem's pocket held up there. Gave quarterback a ton of time to throw that ball.
Derek Morehouse 3.
But again, 3 and out.
Golden Eagle return.
Or excuse me, they did get a 1st down.
Kauea Kana will punt it away again. Another good punt, end over end into the wind or whatever it is. Morehouse takes the punt, gets to the right side, gets a block, penalty flag goes down. 2 flags come in from the back. This is probably coming back. Morehouse is going to get out of bounds at the 40-yard line, but it looked like there was a blindside block on the near sideline, Gavin. Somebody cleaned somebody's teeth out in the next week, and it's going to bring back a pretty good return by Derek Morehouse.
And Orem's getting a little lucky there. They over-pursued. They didn't stay true to their areas on the return. I got to shout out Kawayakana, the punter getting back there. If this wasn't called back, he made that touchdown saving tackle.
Here's Christopher Swank. Again.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Return team, number 3. 15 yards added to the end of the kick. First down.
So Chris Swank actually said from the end of the play, it should actually be from the spot of where the foul was. So they'll back it up 15 yards.
Penalty on the Golden Eagles will move the ball back.
And that'll
to the
take away a pretty decent return.
Be first and 10.
And that'll bring Maple Mountain first and 10 inside their 20 here with 2:32 left in the first quarter. Alexander Timolet, Gavin Atkinson, and what has been a defensive battle here so far outside of Maple Mountain's opening drive, which went 45 yards and ended up in the end zone. Mason Jensen from the shotgun. Pitch goes to Maunga. Gets the edge set to the left side. Penalty flag comes flying in from the back. And I believe this one is going to go back the other way.
Yeah, I believe so too. It looked like a receiver got his arms
penalty flag on the play,
like a big old bear hug. Great job by Maple Mountain, though, setting the edge on an otherwise well-executed play, barring that holding.
Number 2, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Sawyer Leifson called for the holding.
Penalty moves the ball
Already
to
the
the
fourth
9-yard
total penalty
line.
we've had here in this first quarter. Second against Maple Mountain, and Orem has had 2 called against them. First down, and call it about maybe 16 yards. They say officially 17. Ball is on the 9-yard line here for Mason Jensen. Man goes in motion. Handoff goes to Maunga, and Maunga gets swallowed up after maybe a yard on that play.
And Maple Mountain's offense has really been put in a tough situation with these penalties. When you get so far behind the sticks, your playbook gets narrower and narrower. We'll see what they can do with these next 2 downs to pick up 15.
Officially picked up a yard on the play, did Maunga. 2nd and 16 now from the 11-yard line. Clock running under 90 seconds here in this first quarter with this next snap. Tigers showing blitz. They back out. They bring 5. Throw. That is complete to Ross. Ross with a nice spin move up that sideline. And Ross is able to get to about the 22-yard line. Picked up 11 on the play. And as you talked about the playbook getting a little bit smaller here for offensive coordinator Brigham Fano, now it's a little bit more wide open here on 3rd down and short.
And a great effort by Brooks Ross there, getting that spin, making the guy miss, getting a couple extra yards.
For 14 yards.
And 3rd and medium is much more manageable, like you said, than that 3rd and long.
Second, 3rd down faced by Maple Mountain as the Orem student section below us tries to turn up the volume knob here. Once again, Tigers show blitz, and here they come. It's picked up. Jensen gets out of the pocket. He's got the first down and plenty more. Jensen down the sideline and out of bounds, close to midfield. He needed 5 on that play. He picked up 29 and a first down.
And when you bring pressure as a defensive end, you cannot rush too far down the field, or you will create those running lanes for the quarterback. Mason Jensen taking full advantage of those lanes, picking up the first down and some more.
Officially 24 gain on the play. I said 29, actually 24 up to the 45. So 1st and 10, Maple Mountain. Both teams now 1 for 3 on 3rd downs here in this first quarter. Jensen from the shotgun, option to the right. Maunga fumbles the football. Scramble for the loose football, and I think the blue shirts might have it. Yes, they do. It is recovered by Orem and recovered by Riker Mickelson.
By Eli Maunga.
And that might be just what the offense needs to get this going. They're going to get a short field. They better be thanking their defense. A miscue from Maple Mountain has brought some more life into this Orem
First and 10 from the 43.
So now Taden Kaava will come out to the field, and just as Maple Mountain scored on a short field, now the Tigers will be looking to score on a short field. 22 seconds left here in the first quarter. First turnover of the ball game, and it's a biggie, and it belongs to the team wearing blue. Kaava from the gun, looking, throws the tunnel screen. That is complete. And for a short gain, the completion that time goes to number 13 for Orem. That is Kawe Akana. And that will take us to the end of quarter number 1 tonight here.
Gain of 3 on the play.
In the Valley.
And that play will end the first quarter with your score, the Orem Golden Tigers
the Orem
0.
Tigers
The
get the turnover. They're looking to cash in. We'll be back after
Ladies
this
and
word
gentlemen, please
from
welcome our PTA
UCCU.
distinguished alumni and their
On the
families
Rewind
to the field.
Sports Network.
2004 she returned
The
home
Rewind
and
Sports
began
Network's
working at
coverage of high school
KTVT
football
News
presented by
and celebrated
UCCU
20
will
years
continue
with them
next
this
Friday.
year.
Join us from
Lindsay's
Eagle
advice to
Mountain,
students is to
Utah, as the
relentlessly
Orem Golden
pursue their
Tigers face
dreams,
off against the Cedar
even when
Valley
others try to tell
Aviators.
them they'll
Coverage
never
starts
be able
next
to
week,
accomplish
Friday
them.
night, on the
She
Rewind
believes as
Sports
long as they're
Network, your
willing to put in
home
the blood, sweat,
for
and tears required to
Orem
accomplish
High
their
School
dreams.
football.
Thank you for being a great
Second down
example to
and
all the
7 yards to
Tigers
go
that
from the
have
40
graduated from Orem
yards.
High. Please give
Here's
a
a
hand to our
speed option.
2024
Here
distinguished
is
alumni, Lindsay
Youngie going to the left
Stores.
side, and he gets chopped down immediately. Karsten Fagan again on the stop.
Natalie said.
And this Maple Mountain defense just swarms. Everybody's doing their 111th, doing what they need to do. So that pitch, they had both the quarterback and the running back covered, able to get that loss, brings up 3rd and long.
Down 9 yards to go for the first down.
Lost 2 yards on the play, did Youngie. Now 3rd and 9 here. Both teams have combined 2 for 7 in the first quarter on third downs. Apologies, I said 3rd and 40. It was actually a second and 40. It was actually 2nd and 6. Kaava runs the pitch again, and now it's going to be a backwards pass, and that is going absolutely nowhere. Boy, Gavin, you said it. This Maple Mountain defense not letting anything pass go here in this first half.
And you see Filete Iongi on the sideline distraught because he was wide open. If he was able, the pitch was able to throw that ball on that trick play, it would have been that first down. Didn't see him. And, oh, man, one Orem's going to want to have back.
Not the first time I think we said that tonight. Here's a sidewinder punt. That is going to tumble inside the 5 and be down at the 1. Just at the 1 yard line, inside the 1. In fact, it's going to be on the half-yard line, so a hot dog bun inside the 1.
At the 1 yard line,
a 46-yard punt by Kawe Akana. And you have to think right now, but Gavin, you have to think right now, the way this these two defenses are playing, you might think, offensive coordinator Mick Hickson might think, okay, maybe this gives us a little bit of a chance to breathe a little bit because the field position game is where we probably want to be in at the end of the day.
And exactly, like your defense has played excellent so far, barring that one drive where Maple Mountain just kind of went down the field on you. You've got them pinned. We'll see if, ideally you get a safety.
I formation here. That's a new wrinkle. And a fullback dive up the middle to Easton Kojima. And he's able to get out to about the 9 yard line. So one play they're in the I formation, and then one play they'll probably be back out of it after an 8 yard pickup there by Kojima.
Maple Mountain breathing a sigh of relief, getting out of the shadow with their own goalpost, get some room to work. And Maple Mountain's offensive line has been dominant throughout the start of this game.
Second down, less than a yard. Here is Maunga to the left side, and Maunga goes nowhere. The announcer's curse. Mr. Atkinson, you did it again. We were singing the praises of that Maple Mountain offensive line. That time, Orem dominating in the trenches.
Orem's defensive line putting something together right there.
Third down,
we'll see
2
third and short
for the first
what Maple
down.
Mountain does as they have that excellent halfback.
Again, both teams have combined 2 for 8 on third downs here in this first half. Orem 1 for 5, Maple Mountain 1 for 3. Third and about 2 yards to go from the 9. Jensen hands to Maunga going left side, and he ain't gonna get it. Riker Mickelson again. Off that left side, came speeding in like a heat-seeking missile. And again, a good stop by that Orem defense, and again, another 3 and out.
Eli Munga
And now
for no gain
Maple
on the play.
Mountain's punter is going to be punting
Golden Eagles
right
punt the ball away.
under his goalpost. Orem's most likely going to try and get this one blocked, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen this snap go over the punter's head.
Sawyer Leifson now to punt it away. They just got the 12th man off the field. Beckham Curtis has heels back on the 49-yard line. And that punt was almost blocked. And Curtis is going to let this one get out of bounds. And it's going to take a pretty good roll, all things told. And it's going to be down right at the 34-yard line. So that is a 57-yard punt by Sawyer Leifson and no return. The Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of high school football continues next week. Join us from Valhalla as David Gaisford takes his American Fort Cavemen into Pleasant Grove to face off against the Vikings. Coverage starts next week, Friday night, 7 p.m. on your home for the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of American Fork football. Alexander Timlip, Gavin Atkinson here at Tiger Stadium here in Orem, Utah, in the heart of the valley. A defensive battle here so far outside of one drive by Maple Mountain. Double backs in the set here for Tainen Kaava on 1st and 10 from the 35. And a handoff to the left side goes to Iyungi. And first time Iyungi's really had some room. He gets about maybe 3 off of the left side. Brought down on the play by Kojima, among others.
And Orem's offense right here really needs to find a way to get some points on the board. You know, it's not do or die time, but your defense has played great throughout the start of this game. You're facing a great Maple Mountain defense, but you got to find some way to get some momentum.
Single wide receivers actually either side. Double backs remain in the backfield with Kaava. And it is a read option by Kaava. He gets a couple. Kojima able to bring him down after 2. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 yards to go here for the Tigers. Brought down on the play by Kojima, and also brought down on the play
3rd down
by Archibald.
5 yards to go for the 1st down.
Again, Orem 1 for 5 on 3rd downs here in this first half. Maple Mountain 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. And in terms of 3rd downs, Orem has missed their last 3. Maple Mountain has missed their last 2. Double backs remain in the backfield. This time a wide receiver flanks out to the left, to the right. Kaava looking that way, throws up the seam. That is caught. And it's in and out of the hands of Kai Wesley, and boy, did he take a hit. He took an absolute shot from Farron Hardy, the safety. And that is one that Wesley's probably going to want to have back.
Kai Wesley, just such a big body for his quarterback to throw to. The basketball player for Orem, half the year playing some tight end for them tonight. He's going to want to have that one back. It was a hard hit, jarred the ball loose. But once again, another Orem offense 3 and out.
That is the 3rd consecutive 3 and out we've had here in this first half. Here's another punt by Akana, end over end. This time it's going to get a sideways bounce. It's going to die right at the 27-yard line. And so the Golden Eagles will take over from that spot with 6:57 left to go here in the first half.
Punt down by the Tigers at the 26-yard line. That's where the Golden Eagles begin 1st and 10.
7-0 Maple Mountain. Since the touchdown drive, we have had 4 consecutive punts and 3 consecutive 3 and outs.
And if you are a lover of defenses, you are in the right place, because this has not been bad offense. This has been spectacular defense.
Mason Jensen now from the gun on 1st and 10 from the 26. Jensen hands off to the left side, and nowhere to go, is getting swung down in the backfield. Very violently so that time. Tackle made there by number 58.
Tackle by the Tigers, number 56, Colson Rich.
That is Ceci Nelson, who comes in as the 4-3 defensive tackle.
Loss of a yard on the play, 2nd down.
Ceci Nelson, the 4-3 defensive tackle, I should say, 2nd down and 10. Looking and throwing to that near side and going absolutely nowhere is Morehouse. He gets brought down by 2 Tigers on the play. Also into the play, number 0, Will Robinson. No, not Jacob Robinson, Will Robinson. I had to throw that in there. Now it brings up 3rd and long as Maple Mountain quickly gets back to the line.
It's 3rd down and 8.
And they bring pressure. Throw to the near sideline. That's complete. And getting there and making the tackle on Stonebreaker is Iyungi. And Gavin, how about that? Going with tempo there, the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, but
That's complete to Max Stonebreaker.
Equal to the task was Orem's
Oliver Bell's
defense.
making the defensive play.
And Mason Jensen did exactly what you're taught. He threw into the pressure. You had Riker
Sire Lason will kick the ball away
Mickelson bringing that
for
pressure off the side, threw it
the
right
Golden
past
Eagles.
him to where he knew there would be no one. Great job by Filete Iyangi getting over there, making the tackle, forcing the 3 and out.
So another 3 and out. Layson to punt it again. And this is a good punt. And Curtis has it go off his leg, but he's able to dive back on top of it at the 21-yard line. And so that is where the Golden Eagles will give up possession to Orem.
Falling on the punt.
Definitely breathing a sigh of relief
Officials
right
will
there.
talk about the
If he
22-yard line, it will be
lost
first
that
and 10
muff,
for the
he would
Tigers.
have given that ball to Maple Mountain in the red zone. And that defense has to come back out onto the field after getting the 3 and out. Nothing more disheartening than that. We'll see what Orem's offense can do. You know, have a long field in front of them. See if they can get some momentum going.
First and 10 from the 22-yard line. Kaava, play action, looks to the right, now throws into coverage, and incomplete, and again Wesley gets absolutely leveled. Eli Maunga, chest-to-chest violence.
Number 5, Kai Wesley,
And it's second down.
broken up by Farron Hardy.
And Taden Ta'ava kind of left Wesley out to
Second
dry,
down.
put that ball high. Wesley goes for the grab, and the defender just puts the shoulder in his stomach, forcing the incompletion.
Second time that they've gone to Wesley, and second time they have not connected. Second and 10 now from the 22. Man, Iyongi goes in motion to the right. Kaava looking to throw. No one open down the field. Now gets rid of it, and it's intercepted. Down the sideline and into the end zone for the touchdown is Karsten Fagan. And in a game where offense has not been the story, it's Maple Mountain's defense that has the first big play of the game.
Kaava's pass intercepted by the Golden Eagles in return for the touchdown.
Taden Kaava's just gonna want to have that one back. He tried to do too much, and it ended up costing him big.
Suelos to attempt the extra point.
So Banuelos now to attempt the extra point to make it a 14-0 game, and we have a penalty flag before the snap. It came from the back judge, and so we'll see what this is. Christopher Swank is saying to Kalen Hall that it's an illegal substitution
Flag
against
before the kick.
the Orem Tigers. So we'll see if Kalen Hall wants to bring the offense back out for a 2-point conversion.
Try.
And no, he will not. So Banuelos now will try it again. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-0 in favor of Maple Mountain. We'll be back after this word from the Salt Lake Running Company on the Rewind Sports Network with Maple Mountain up 14-0. Fernando Banuelos to kick off. Alexander Tumup alongside Gavin Atkinson.
Banuelos will be kicking off for the
14-0 in favor of the Maple Mountain
Beckham
Golden
Curtis
Eagles.
received the kick for the Tigers.
Both sides have had a turnover in this game, but Maple Mountain is the one that has cashed in on their opportunity. And only one offensive touchdown in this game, and it's belonged to Maple Mountain. Banuelos' kickoff will go to the goal line, and Curtis will take it at the 2. Gets to the sideline and gets hogtied out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will start.
Now this is where, if you're Taden Kaava, you have to have a short-term memory. You can't be thinking about that interception. You got to be a little mature. He is a junior right now, so getting his first starts of his career, you know, this year, got to have a short-term memory, got to show your maturity here.
First and 10 from the 27. Here's a draw play to Iyongi. Cuts it back on the right side. And for the first time since early in this first half,
Iongi picking up the
Feleti
Tiger
Iongi
first
picks up
down.
an Orem first down, and none too soon the worse for it, as the Tigers have
Gain of
first and
15
10
yards
after a
on the
pickup of
play.
15 yards.
And a very familiar sight for those
First
who
and 10
watch
from the
Orem
42.
football. Feleti Iongi has been doing that for 3 years.
You would know something about that, don't you? Here's Iongi again on the cutback. Makes a man miss. Gets another man miss. Iongi, another first down out to the 47-yard line. And for the first time tonight,
picking up another
the Tigers are into Maple Mountain territory. Thou hast said, Mr. Atkinson. You know a thing or two about seeing number one do that.
Feleti Iongi came in his freshman year, got some meaningful minutes, and showed off his speed. He's been doing that ever since.
Double wide receiver line up to either side. First and 10 from the Maple Mountain 47-yard line. Here's a sweep to the near side. Iongi cuts it back right side. Iongi hits the seam and has a first down again to about the 36-yard line. That's enough to move the sticks again for the Golden Tigers.
Up another Tiger first down.
And Orem is doing a great job this drive getting the ball into their stars' hands. Kauai Akana has been really quiet so far in this game, other than that tunnel screen. And, I mean, I guess he's been on the field a lot for the punts. But Feleti Iongi has been excellent this drive running the football.
First and 10 now from the Maple Mountain 36. Orem trying to answer right back. Hand off to Iongi. Bobbled the handoff a little bit and then gets brought down. No gain on the play. And meanwhile, an Orem player limps off the field.
Iongi stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2.
This is the deepest that Maple Mountain's defense has been against the fire tonight in terms of being against this Orem offense.
And it's kind of a double-edged sword when your offense is pushing further and further down the field. Obviously, you want to do it because you can score, but it gets easier and easier for the defense to play defense as there's less space for the offense to go.
Second down and 12 now from the 38-yard line. Ka'ava to throw. Gets time, steps up in the pocket, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally goes down. The ball comes out. But Orem is able to jump back on top of the football. And right behind Ka'ava to recover the football for the Tigers was big Micah Seufale.
Lost a fumble at the end of the play, but it was recovered by the Tigers, number 51.
Definitely going to be thanking his
Seufale.
center right there. You know, he's showing his athleticism, his strength, fighting through the tackles, but you got to put 2 hands on that football.
A third down and 6
You
yards
do not
to go
drop
for the
that
first
football.
down.
Gotta be thanking his center now.
Third down and 7 now. Orem has not converted a third down in their last 5 tries. Ka'ava looking to throw, screen pass, and that is blown up. Nobody was fooled. Beckham Curtis was right there and got swallowed up. And it's going to be 4th down and decision time here for head coach.
Pass complete to Beckham Curtis, but tackled immediately by
For head coach Lance Reynolds and offensive coordinator Mick
Jaguana.
Hickson. And on 4th and 9 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half, it appears that Orem is going for it.
4th down and 9 for the Tigers.
And Jaguana was not fooled on that screen. Read it from the beginning of the play and made the tackle. 4th, you know, you got to go for it here, try and get some momentum.
Triple wide receiver lines up to the left. They bring just 3 and an extra man on the rush, and the pass is caught for the first down to who else but Feleti Iongi, and a first down, and Orem's just outside the red zone.
That's good for a Tiger first down.
So when in doubt, dial 1 for a first down.
Ball at the 21-yard line.
Taden Ka'ava doing a great job standing in that pocket, standing in the pressure, finding Iongi, knowing he's going to be open in the middle of that field.
First and 10 from the Maple Mountain 21. Ka'ava from the shotgun. Curtis in the backfield with him. Play action. Got time. Throws. That is complete. And a first down to Kauai Akana inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
And for you Orem fans out there, hearing Kauai Akana get that catch must feel amazing because he's been so quiet so far in this game. You got to get both of your playmakers going.
Good for first down.
First and 10, or first and goal rather, from the 7-yard line. triple wide receiver, lines up to the right. Beckham Curtis is the lone setback next to Tatum Kaava on the shotgun. They give to Curtis. He goes right side. He powers his way forward, submarines into the middle, and finally the pursuit gets over there to swallow him up at about the 5-yard line. They give him officially 3 as we reach a minute to go in the first half.
3 yards.
And again, Orem in no hurry here. Remember, Maple Mountain will get the football to start half number 2.
Second and goal from the 4.
Maple Mountain scored on their opening drive. And then Orem turned it over and got a pick, and then Maple Mountain got a pick 6 out of it. But the Tigers trying to answer before halftime. Kaava from the shotgun. Iongi goes in motion. Garver in the backfield. Sprint out to the right. Kaava looking, fires, end zone, touchdown! Akana!
Caden Kaava to Kaue Akana.
And that is going to be Kaue Akana's 11th touchdown on the year. And boy, was it needed. Orem's offense struggling in that first half. What a way to go into the locker room. Have some things to talk about, but you're going to go in with some momentum.
And the cannon fires off in the background. Extra point up on the way, and it is good. 27 seconds left in the first half.
Is good.
And it is 14-7 in favor
And with 27
of the
seconds
Orem
left in the first half,
in favor of the Golden
the
Eagles.
Orem Golden Tigers 7.
And
The Maple Mountain
Gavin,
Golden Eagles 14.
we just talked about how big that drive was for Tatum Kaava. You have to now say that to get the ball into number 1 and number 13's hands on that drive multiple times is a huge confidence boost for number 11.
And it's a great job to fight through that adversity. It's so tough. Just to put into perspective how great this Maple Mountain defense has been, Orem has consistently been scoring in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Their least amount of points in a game was 24 against Farmington and at the end of August, but as of late, you know, they're coming off of a 59-point game last week.
Kicking off will be Pol
Up for the
Falmui.
Tigers.
Or rather, that's Akana.
Morehouse.
Akana will be kicking
Jack
off,
Stonebreaker
who scored the
receives the kick
touchdown.
for the Golden Eagles.
Stonebreaker and Morehouse back to receive the kickoff for the Golden Eagles. Akana approaches the ball and hits a line drive. And Morehouse will pick up on the 5. Comes up to the middle, 10, 15, 20. He gets swallowed as he gets to the 25-yard line with 20 seconds left here in the first half.
Morehouse returns the kick to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the
Maple
Golden
Mountain
Eagles.
will get the football to start half number 2, but Orem, what a drive to answer back. A 74-yard drive that ate up almost 5 minutes of game clock, and it ends up in the end zone with Tatum Kaava throwing to Kaue Akana from 5 yards out.
We'll see how aggressive Maple Mountain is right here. They have all 3 timeouts, but it is 75 yards. Most likely they'll just run out this clock.
And as you say that, they do throw out the victory formation. Mason Jensen will take a knee, and that will do it for the first 24 minutes.
Mason Jensen takes the knee to end the first half.
And the Orem Tigers took some time to find their momentum, but they have life down the end of this first half.
And at the conclusion of
Now,
the first
a lot
half
of
of play,
things
your
that
score,
both
the
of
Orem
these
Golden
teams are going to be
Tigers 7,
talking about in
the Maple Mountain Golden
the
Eagles
locker
14.
room. Mick Hickson for Orem, you know, your offense started figuring something out at the end of the game, but other than that, it really struggled to get going. And then the same thing for Maple Mountain. Both offenses really struggled. They're going to try and see how they can open up the field a little bit, get some yards. But if it comes down to 1 or 2 scores, these defenses will be ready. I'm excited to see what adjustments coaches make. Should be a good one.
So we come to the end of this first half here at Tiger Stadium, 14-7. Great first half of action. Defenses, the story of the first half. We'll be back with the start of the second half in about 20 minutes or so. But for now, enjoy the homecoming program here at Orem High School.
Please welcome
This is the
your
Rewind Sports
OHS
Network's coverage of the
JV
Game of the
and varsity
Week,
cheer
presented
teams.
by
They're coached by
Heidemann
Jaslyn
and
Sessions,
Associates.
Ashley Pacheco, Sloan Robinson,
is presented by Heidemann and Associates, the full-service law firm that is committed to going above and beyond the call for everyone they serve. About to start the third quarter here. Alexander Timolip and Gavin Atkinson here at the top of Tiger Stadium. Maple Mountain leads Orem 14-7 in what's been a battle of defenses here so far, Gavin. But before halftime, Kawe Akana able to make the catch for the touchdown from Taden Kaava. Now this gets a little bit more interesting here in the second half.
And you're exactly right. It's going to come down to, I believe, the head coaches. Which head coach made the better adjustments at halftime? Both of these teams are very similar in the way they play and the way their defense is run. And I love seeing it. It's a battle of the twins. Love to see Maple Mountain, the Golden Eagles versus the Golden Tigers. Going to be a great half coming up. Look for Kawe Akana. Look for Falete Yongi. And look for, I'm going to get my spotting board out, Eli Monga. He's going to have a great half. I am predicting right now. He's been excellent throughout the year. He had a pretty good showing in the first half. He's going to break out in the second half.
It did seem like at the end of the first half that Maonga owned the first quarter, but it seemed like Alcana and Iongi, they seem to own that second quarter more than the first quarter. Again, Maple Mountain will get the football to start quarter number 3. They scored on their opening drive of the game, which was a 45-yard drive, ended with a touchdown run by Maonga. And there was no scoring until Maple Mountain had a pick 6 of Taden Kaava, but the Tigers came right back on a 74-yard drive that chewed up over 4.5 minutes and ended in the end zone to Kawe Akana. Once again, Maple Mountain looking to remain undefeated. Orem looking to get their 6th win of the season.
To begin the second half, the Tigers will be kicking off and defending the goal to the south. Kicking for the Tigers, number 13, Kawe Akana.
Kawe Akana, who scored the touchdown, will kick off. Morehouse and Stonebreaker back to receive the kickoff for Maple Mountain. Temperature was 79 degrees at kickoff. It's dropped a couple now as we get set for half number 2.
Derek Morehouse, Max Stonebreaker to receive the kick for the Golden Eagles.
Akana kicks off, and this will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Akana's kick into the end zone for the touchback.
So that will bring out this
Golden
Maple
Eagles
Mountain
begin
offense,
1st and 10 from
which
the 20.
You have to give credit to defensive coordinator Josh Arnold right now for Orem. They have done a masterful job at holding down this Maple Mountain offense. This Golden Eagles team hasn't even crossed midfield since about midway through the first quarter.
And that first quarter had me thinking, uh-oh, this might be a blowout. Maple Mountain had everything running, all cylinders, but Orem has done a great job adjusting to Maple Mountain, and especially those third downs. They have stopped them on third downs and got them off the field. We'll see what they can do this time. Mason Jensen has played really well so far.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Jensen and co. Double wide receivers either side. Jensen to throw on first down. Pressure coming up the middle. He gets out of the pocket, rolls to his left, now pulls it down, and he gets brought down at about the 28-yard line on the scramble. Pick up about 8 yards on the
Max
play.
Jensen on the carry.
And Jensen's got some moves. He's got a little bit of that shifty archetype,
making the tackle.
making that defensive tackle miss,
Second down, 2 yards to
scrambling
go
for those
the first
extra
down.
yards, and a offensive coordinator's dream if their quarterback can make something out of nothing.
2nd and 2 now from the 28. Maonga remains in the backfield. Double wide receivers to either side. Stonebreaker goes in motion. The throw out wide. That is complete to Morehouse. Runs into a block. Now he needs to get some friends. Has a blocker in front of him as quarterback. And he's going to get the first down and plenty more, as he's knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And that is just a little bit of what Derek Morehouse can do on that offensive side of the ball.
And a great second effort from Derek Morehouse as Orem read that tunnel
Morehouse
screen
on the
pretty well.
reception, picking up a
Wasn't able to wrap
down.
up, and then he just said, okay,
Knocked
you're
out of
going to
bounds by the
over-pursue.
Tigers, number
Let's
10,
take it
AJ
to the
Snow.
other side of the field. Gets down the sideline.
1st and 10 from
gets
the
the first
41.
down, plus some more. Maple Mountain's offense is looking pretty good coming out of half.
Already close to midfield here. early in the second half. 1st and 10 now from the 41-yard line. Now the ace backfield. This is a new wrinkle. Play action. Jensen rolling to his right. Now throws on the run. That is complete. And making the catch and getting hit immediately is Sawyer Leifson by Akana, among others. And he picks up about maybe 6. That was something new right there. A little bootleg off that play action out of the ace backfield.
And it's a great way to deal with that pressure that Orem has started to bring. You know, get your quarterback moving, get him running with the receivers, and it worked that time, giving him 7 yards.
2nd down, 4 yards to go now officially from the 47-yard line. Need to get to the 49 of the Tigers for a 1st down. Jensen from the shotgun, handoff to the right side. This is Mo'unga, and he's got the 1st down. Running behind that center, out to the 49-yard line, and that'll move the sticks for the Golden Eagles.
And that play just shows how strong Mo'unga is. First contact came at the line of scrimmage from linebacker Steven Scow, number 8 for Orem. Brings some pressure off the side, just powers through the tackle, gets the 1st down.
That play resulted in a 1st down for the Golden Eagles. In on the tackle for the Tigers, number 50, Ma'akeapo.
Ma'akeapo made the stop, the nose tackle. And so this is the first time Maple Mountain has crossed midfield since early in the 1st quarter. Jensen sprints out to his right, now throws up the sideline. What a catch! That's Morehouse over the top, and he's inside the 5 and in for a Maple Mountain touchdown.
Maple Mountain touchdown.
And what a great time to pull out that fade route. You suck Orem in with all the running. They've been struggling to stop Mo'unga, so they start loading the box.
Morehouse.
You bring in the fade route, a perfectly
Fernando
thrown ball from
Banuelos on to
Jensen.
attempt the
Great
extra
catch,
point.
and it's off to the races.
So Maple Mountain, as they did on their opening drive of the 1st half, scores on their opening drive of the 2nd half. Now with 9:43 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, Fernando Banuelos will now attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Morehouse, who caught the touchdown. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up by Banuelos, and it is good. 9:43 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, just like that, up 21-7 early here in the 2nd half. Beautiful night here under the lights here in Orem, Utah. Alexander Tim up alongside Gavin Atkinson. Here at Tigers Stadium, Maple Mountain leads 21-7. As Derek Morehouse into the end zone.
Yongi deep to receive the kick.
Off a great call as the kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And the kick is in the end zone for the touchback. Tigers begin 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
How important was that Maple Mountain comes out and scores on their opening drive when Orem had a lot of momentum going into the locker room?
Oh, it's a great response. It's massive because it takes that momentum away from Orem and brings it back into your side, or at the very least, a neutral side. Now you're putting the pressure on Orem's offense, who has struggled throughout the night. They looked good on that last drive, but now they need to go back and take the momentum.
21-7 Maple Mountain. 9 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Kaava throws. That is complete. That's Akana. Gets outside. Maybe got away with a bit of a hold. Did the receiver, but he's out of bounds as Akana up at the 31-yard line. That's enough to move the chains for the Tigers.
That's complete to Kaue Akana. That's good for a Tiger 1st down.
And Orem has done a great job,
1st and 10
ever since the start of the 2nd quarter, getting their stars involved. They were quiet through that 1st quarter. Kaue Akana, you really didn't hear much of his name other than the punting till about 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, and he has really gotten into his rhythm.
21-7 from the shotgun now. Kaava to throw on 1st down. Pressure coming. They pick up the blitz, and the pass is caught. That's Akana again. Out of bounds, close to midfield. That's enough for a 1st down. But how about the great blitz pickup by Feleti Yongi on that left side?
Pass complete to Kaue Akana.
And that is a quarterback's dream. I've talked about an offensive coordinator's dream, but a quarterback's dream
from the
a running back,
48.
a tight end receiver that can also block for you when that blitz is coming, able to step up into the pocket and fire it down to Akana.
Oliver Bills now in the backfield on 1st and 10. Triple wide receiver lines up to the left. Here's a cutback to Iyongi, and Iyongi's got space, and Iyongi gets tripped up as he gets to about the 41-yard line, and now this Orem offense starting to get some traction here.
10 yards on the run.
10 more yards on the
Maple
run.
Mountain 41.
And it's 1st and 10 on the Maple Mountain 41-yard line. In just 3 plays, the Golden Tigers looking to strike back with a vengeance. David Garver now in the backfield with Kaava on 1st and 10 from the 41. Kaava throws, and the passes look like it might have been deflected and incomplete, but there's a penalty flag down on
Jackson
the far
Sanders,
side of the field.
Intended receiver.
Again,
Penalty
Christopher
flag on
Swank
the
is
play as
our
well.
white hat. We'll see what the call is. And he's looking over at Kalen Hall, and it looks like we're going to have hands to the face against Orem.
Illegal formation.
Or illegal formation, excuse me.
5 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
That's just the 4th penalty. That's just the 5th penalty of the game, but that's the first penalty on Orem since early in the first quarter.
And it's their second illegal formation of the game. That's just a drive killer for Orem.
So that
making
penalty
it
on the
1st
Tigers
and
moves the ball back to
15.
the 46-yard line, where it'll be
We'll see if
1st
they can
and
keep this
15.
momentum going, but giving Maple Mountain some momentum to work with, their defense something to work with and something to build off of.
Double wide receivers either side of Kaava. 1st and 15 now from the 46. Kaava to throw on 1st down. He's got time. Guns it to the near side. That is complete. And what a catch by Feleti Iongi. And boy, that was a fastball delivered by Taden Kaava right to his favorite target.
And you saw the pressure coming from the edge on the near side of your screen.
7 yards.
That's why Kaava had to fire that one into Iongi. Gets those 5 yards, gets it past the original sticks. 2nd and 8.
Akana lines up slot to the left. Iongi lines up slot to the right. 2nd and 8. Pressure coming on Kaava. Throws middle. That is complete. And that's a 1st down completion to the 25-yard line to the H-back, Kawe Akana. And again, another 1st down.
Kawe Akana. That's good for a Tiger 1st down.
And once again, you see
Ball
Maple
spotted at the
Mountain drop
25-yard
into
line.
a zone. They've got the
Third Harding
three-high
in on the
kind of
tackle for the Golden
nickel-style
Eagles.
defense. And quarterback's able to find the opening in the zone.
1st and 10 now from the 25. Approaching 8 minutes to go. Takes the snap, does Kaava. Drops the pass. Now he's going to get out of the pocket. And he stumbles. And he goes down at about the 24-yard line. And Kaava had some room to work with, Gavin. That's just a tough break there for the junior quarterback.
You know, I'm not sure
2nd
from
down.
my vantage point. It could have been the turf monster, but the way he went down, it almost looked like somebody wrapped him up, grabbed his leg, pulled him down. Great effort from the defense.
Pulled down on the play by Uila Wolfgram. Good catch by our cameraman Josh Dodge, pointing out that Kaava did get tripped up on the play. 2nd and 9 from the Maple Mountain 24. Kaava back to pass, looking, throws up the seam. That is tipped and intercepted. Karsten Fagan with his 2nd big play of the game. It went off the hands of Iongi, and Maple Mountain's defense once again comes up with a big play.
And that, Alex, just might have been trying to do a little too much. He saw Iongi in the seam route, thought he could get it to him. A great job by the safety getting over there. And it just was so high, Iongi couldn't grasp that one. Pick off the tip.
So they're going to mark the ball at the 2-yard line because the ball was deflected in the field of play and then went into the end zone. So by rule, the ball comes out to the spot where the ball was originally touched.
The officials spot the ball at the 2-yard line where it'll be
And
1st
it is a
and 10
bad
for the
snap,
Golden Eagles.
and it is going to go for a safety as nobody was ready. And it is going to be marked off, I believe, as a safety. Christopher Swank has made no signal, and it is 2 points for the
That
Tigers.
snap on the play
And
results in a
Orem,
safety.
You know, catching a
points
break
for your
right
Golden
there. We
Tigers.
saw Maple Mountain lined up on their own 2-yard line before in this game for that punt, able to execute well, but this time not ready for that snap. Gets the safety and they get bailed out of that pick.
So Orem turns the ball over twice in this game. Maple Mountain's turned it over once. but it's Orem who gets 2 points on the scoreboard. And Gavin Atkinson, I turn to you now. 7:12 left in this third quarter. Orem's going to get the free kick here. It is a 2-score game, but when you really look at it, it's a 1-score game, because if Orem gets in the end zone or at the very least gets a field goal, this defense right now is standing on its head, and you have to love that from defensive coordinator Josh Arnold.
Josh Arnold's defense has been the living breath of Orem's team today. You know, their offense struggled so much to start this game, but their defense has been there to bail them out when they needed to. And what did they do on that last play? They bailed them out again, partially due to the bad snap, but able to get back, grab the quarterback, get the safety, and the offense has a great job, or a great chance to cut into this lead.
Banuelos will take the free kick from the 25, and Curtis going to have a chance to run this from the 20-yard line. Here he comes. 30. And he's going to give great field position to the Golden Tigers at the 37-yard line. And so Taden Ka'ava will come right back out on the field.
Curtis returning the kickoff.
So for those that just missed it, Orem scored, or rather Maple Mountain scored on both of their opening drives in the first and second half. Then it was a pick six by Maple Mountain's Karsten Fagan that made it 14-0, but Orem able to get in the end zone before half. And then a safety by Orem on a bad snap into the hands of the quarterback for Maple Mountain, Mason Jensen. And it is a new game here, 21-9, with still a lot of time left here in this third quarter. Ka'ava from the shotgun, from the 37. Play action, looking, throws. That is complete to Garver. Garver up the sideline, and Garver is brought down in midfield. That's a heck of a start to the drive there for the Orem Tigers.
And you can just feel the momentum in the stadium. It's been a crazy turn of events, because after that pick, the stadium just deflated like a balloon. But that safety has re-energized this stadium, and I believe the team is feeding off of it.
You want to talk about energy. The student section below us is going absolutely berserk. 1st and 10 from midfield, dead even. Here is a sweep to the near side of Yongi with a pulling blocker in front of him. Tries to get outside, breaks a tackle, 45, and escorted out of bounds. Out about the 42-yard line. They mark him officially out at about the 41.5. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Iyonga picking up 8 yards.
Iyongi just putting the stiff arm on Maddox Sabi. One of their better corners. Really impressed with him when I was doing my prep for this game. 28 tackles, 2 interceptions. But Iyongi able to use that stiff arm, get those extra yards.
Garver now lines up as the H-back in the shotgun. Ka'ava now hands off, cut back, Iyongi right side, breaks another tackle into the secondary, at the 30, at the 25, and finally brought down at about the 23-yard line. That's going to be more than enough to move the sticks for the Tigers.
Iyongi on another carry, picking up the Tiger.
And what an excellent time for Nick Hickson to bring back the counter run. Brings it back to the weak side of the field. And Flete Iyongi just uses his speed.
1st and 10 now from the Maple Mountain 23. What a turn of events this has been here at Tiger Stadium. Ka'ava in the shotgun with Garver to his left. Takes the snap. Looking. Now throws to the end zone for Akana. Touchdown, Tigers!
It looks like I haven't seen a signal yet. This one might be marked short.
They sit. The headline's been over on my far side. Gavin, signal touchdown. The line judge looked over, so they have confirmed it. And with 5:48 to go, we are an extra point away from a 5-point game. Akana for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and it is good. 21-16, just like that. 9 consecutive points for the Orem Tigers.
Point after by
Things
Akana
getting a
is good.
little bit tighter here in the Valley.
5 minutes.
Well, what do I always say, folks? Don't blink because you'll miss it. 9 consecutive points in less than 2 minutes by the Orem Tigers, and we have a 5-point game here at Tiger Stadium. Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson, Kawe Akana.
And if I may, that last drive looked a little similar to the era of Lance Reynolds III and one Roger Soleapunga, now playing for the University of Oregon.
You're getting romantic there, aren't you, Mr. Soleapunga? And LR3 is Akana's kick goes through the back of the
Connor's
end
kicking to
zone.
the end zone for the touchback.
So Kawe Akana has both
Golden Eagles
offensive
begin first and
touchdowns
10
for
from their
Orem here
20-yard
tonight,
line.
even though Tatum Kaava has also thrown 2
Intermountain Sports
interceptions.
Medicine has your athletes
But Maple
covered
Mountain,
all game, all season,
Only a
all year
5-point
long.
game right now, Gavin.
Their
And you look at this drive
certified
right now,
athletic
at
trainers are here
5:48 to go here in the
delivering
third
care for
quarter.
your son or daughter.
This is crunch. We're getting
Intermountain
close to
Sports
crunch
Medicine,
time, and we're not even into the fourth quarter yet.
For all of Orem
And you're
High
exactly
School
right.
Athletics.
This is almost a make or break drive for Maple Mountain. They need to find a way to get some momentum back on their side as they have been struggling mightily offensively.
1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Jensen to throw, looking, throws out to that far side. That is complete and dropped by Ross. Oh, Ross had it in his hands, but heard the footsteps coming and couldn't hold on to it.
Pass intended for number 29, Brooks Ross.
Again, Maple Mountain's only 2 scores,
Mac Ellison defending
only
for the Tigers.
2 offensive touchdowns came on their
Second
opening
down.
drives of both the first and second halves. And outside of the pick 6 by Karsten Fagan, it has been Orem's night defensively here so far. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Tigers showing blitz. They bring a man in motion. Morehouse, Orem in motion to the back, and here they come. Jensen looking, throws up the sideline, and it's picked off! Intercepted by Nicholson! And Nicholson is brought down inside the 10!
The pass intercepted by the Tigers, number 5, Riker Mickelson.
That is his 2nd of the year. He has been all over the field tonight and throughout
On
the
the
year.
turnover, Tigers
It
begin
was a
1st and 10
great
from the
zone
Maple
design
Mountain
by the
12-yard
defensive
line.
coordinator, and Jensen just did not see that linebacker, Mickelson.
2nd turnover of the ball game for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, and now a golden opportunity for Orem, who, by the way, have not led at any point in this ball game.
I see what you did there.
I'm neutral, trust me. 1st and 10 from the Maple Mountain 12. Here is a counter play to Curtis, and he gets smothered in the line at the backfield. Archibald, among others, on the stop.
And a great job by Maple Mountain, able to get into the backfield.
Beckham Curtis on the carry.
They need to bail out their offense right
Roddy
here.
Hansvik making the tackle.
This feels like a massive possession for both teams. Orem able
Loss
to
of one on the
possibly
play.
take the
Second
lead,
down.
but if Maple Mountain can stop them, force them to a field goal, that has to feel good if you're Maple Mountain's offense. You have a defense to rely on.
Riley Hansvik was in on the stop as well. Here's Kaava to throw. Pressure coming off the edge. Gets rid of it. Pass is caught. That's Curtis. Breaks a tackle. Gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
To Beckham Curtis for the Tigers. Touchdown!
And I believe, unofficially, that is his 2nd touchdown of the year. A great job by Beckham Curtis fighting through that initial tackle and then running to the end zone, reaching for that pylon, getting his team ahead.
First lead of the game for the Orem Tigers. Akana now for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. The Orem Tigers, who were down 21-7 at the beginning of this third quarter, now have the lead. It is 23-21. We have a game
with 4
in the
minutes,
Valley.
54th.
What a turn of events here at Tiger Stadium. Alexander Timolip and Gavin Atkinson. The Maple Mountain Golden Eagles had all the momentum after scoring on their opening drive of the second half.
Max Stonebreaker.
And Max Stonebreaker and Derek Morehouse will be back to return the kickoff for the Golden Eagles, who now trail for the first time here tonight. Akana kicks off, and this baby will go right through the back of the end zone for a touchback. As we were discussing it in the break, Gavin Atkinson with me, Alexander Timolip. Gavin, the turnovers now even 2 apiece, scoring off turnovers even 7-7. But in this third quarter, just as Orem's defense could not stop Skyview's offense last week, now all of a sudden it's Maple Mountain's defense who suddenly have hit a bit of a snag.
And it's just so hard to play 4 quarters against this Orem defense. But I said the same thing about Orem's quarterback after that pick six, Maple Mountain, you need to have a short-term memory. Forget about that pick.
Here's a handoff right back to the workhorse, Maunga. And Maunga gets pounded at the line of scrimmage. There's newfound life in this Orem defense. A.J. Snow, the first contact.
And if you're Mason Jensen, you're not going to redeem yourself all on one play. Or you might, but you really, I don't want to say you don't want to, but you want to let the game come to you naturally. Take what the defense gives you to get back on track.
Maunga got one on the play. 2nd and 9 from the 21. Jensen, pressure coming off the edge, steps up, now fires downfield, and it is incomplete, intended for Morehouse. He had a step, and this will bring up 3rd down.
Pass intended for Derek Morehouse falls incomplete.
And we've been talking about it, Gavin. The 3rd downs have been an issue for both teams here tonight. Struggling to find momentum on offense. Well, 3rd downs
9 yards to go for the first down.
2 for 12 on 3rd downs for both teams.
Both teams have really struggled, like you said, on that 3rd downs. So when these offenses have been successful, it's been on 1st and 2nd down. We'll see if Maple Mountain can do it this time.
Maple Mountain has not converted their last 5 3rd downs. They need to here on 3rd and 9. 4-man rush. Jensen gets clobbered as he throws, and it is incomplete. He took a shot. A free rusher coming off the edge.
4th down.
And it'll be 4th down.
Still 9 yards to go for the 1st down.
And out for the Maple Mountain offense.
And I truly believe, Alex,
Sawyer Layson will be on the field.
One of the great staples of a great defense is getting great pass rushing. Jensen takes a hit. He's thrown a pick. You're getting in his head, and that's exactly what you want if you're Orem's defense.
Sawyer Layson to punt. This is the 3rd time he's punted tonight. It's a beauty. Iongi will make the catch at the 35. 40. Midfield. Still on his feet. And out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Filete Iongi returning the ball across midfield to the 40-yard line.
And Filete Iongi, he has this way of creating something out of nothing. One of the great weapons of this Orem offense.
You can hear them, the students downstairs chanting his name. One of the stars of this team for so many years. Taden Kaava, 1st and 10. All 3 drives for Orem have started at inside Maple Mountain's half of midfield. Here's a speed option pitch. This is Iongi. Iongi needs to get a block, and he's going to be very fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Great job by Karsten Fagan, who has been all over the field tonight defensively for the Golden Eagles.
Evan Hawks.
And that is a great way to slow down Iongi. Use the sideline as an extra defender. Don't let him turn that corner, make him run out, gain him no yards. That's a great 1st down for this Maple Mountain Golden Eagle defense.
Defensive coordinator Deming Mo needs his defense to come up with a stop right here. Here's a little counter play. This is Iongi trying to bounce to the outside. Throws a stiff arm. Now he's got some space. And is chopped down out of bounds as he reaches the 34-yard line. Good tackle on the play.
Iongi on the carry.
By Farron Hardy. Otherwise, there was some major pasture for number 1 to run in.
Gain of 7 on the play.
And we saw a number one matchup right there. Filete Iongi running right at Maddox Sabi. Sabi just took a poor angle, underestimated Iongi's speed. Iongi able to get that sideline.
He's starting to remind me of Debo Samuel, Filete Iongi. He wears the same number, too. 3rd down and less than 4. Shotgun for Kaava. Handoff to Gardner. And Gardner is going to be short, I believe, by about a hot dog bun and a half.
Curtis on the carry.
And he is going to be short by about a half a yard. It'll be 4th and inches.
And I cannot imagine a scenario where Orem doesn't go for it right here. But Maple Mountain has the chance to stop him.
Just short of the 1st down.
Kaava takes it and got shoved back, but he got it.
Taden Kaava on a keeper.
And he gets it.
Center.
by about a half a yard, and he got bent backwards
Picking up
too.
enough yards for the Tiger first down.
And we have a man down underneath that pile, slow to get up. It looks like it's Oliver Bills. Or rather, that's Micah Seufale, the center. And it will indeed be a first down. Orem has outscored Maple Mountain in this quarter 16-7. They have scored the last 16, or rather the last 9 points, I should say. Or yes, they have scored the last. They have scored the last few points as we have a timeout called.
We have a timeout on the field.
By head coach
This timeout
Lance
taken
Reynolds.
by the Tigers. Their first
So
timeout
LR
of the
Jr. will take
second
a
half.
timeout. We will as well. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Orem leads 23-21. Out of the timeout, Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson here at Tiger Stadium. In the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week presented by Heidemann and Associates. Orem up 23-21 after trailing by 14. They have scored 16 points in the blink of an eye here. Beckham Curtis goes in motion, throwing the tunnel screen and making the catch and getting smothered. Immediately is Akana by Eli Maunga. And Gavin Atkinson, you were going to say something before Orem ran that sneak before we went to timeout.
But
Well, this game by no means is out of reach for Maple Mountain.
Loss of 4 yards.
We saw
on the
Eli
play.
Monga do a great job
Second
reading
down.
that tunnel screen. That is the type of play to start building some momentum. I hate to harp on momentum, but it is so key.
You're
football.
always harping on momentum. Every color guy I've been with has harped on momentum, Gavin. You're not the first, trust me.
It is because it is so key to the game.
It is. Play clock down to 3. Kaava from the shotgun, and they just got it away. 3 men on the rush. Pressure coming. He gets hit as he throws. Akana's wide open. Touchdown. And we have a man down behind the play.
To Kawe Akana.
That is Micah Seufale, the center.
34 yards for the
Akana.
Tiger. Touchdown.
With his third touchdown of the night.
And that just felt like a backbreaker touchdown. Obviously, Maple Mountain is still in this game. It is very easily within reach. But you got pressure on Tatum
official's
Kaava.
timeout for
And
an
he
injured
still
player.
found a way to get it to... Sorry.
We're having trouble too. It's been a long day for all of us, buddy. Trust me.
Akana receiving that touchdown.
Finally, the cannon goes off. We were waiting for it. As Micah Seufale, who remember was injured earlier in that scrum, able to get up and jog off the field under his own power. Meanwhile, LR2 is going
Micah Seufale, the
to go
injured
for
Tiger
2.
player.
22 unanswered points now by the Tigers.
Would the representative from Smiths please
Now,
make your way
this
to the
is a
north
great
end of the
time
football
to-
field?
Well, I was
The
about to say
representative
go
from
for
Smiths
2, but
to
it
the
looks
north
like they're
end
lining
of
up
the
in the
football
field goal
field. Thank you.
formation.
So Akana now, who has caught 3 touchdowns tonight, will try for the extra point. Out of the hold of Oliver Bills. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 30-21. As
And
Orem
the
has
kick from Akana
completely
is good.
turned this game around.
With 1 minute,
Here in the
21
third quarter,
seconds
Gavin,
to play in the third quarter, your score,
I
the
mean,
Orem Golden Tigers 30.
It seemed like Maple Mountain had
The
all
Maple
the
Mountain
momentum
Golden
off that drive to
Eagles,
start the third
21.
quarter. Now if you're head coach Caitlin Hall, what do you do here as far as the game plan is concerned? Because like we said, this game is far from over.
Ladies and
There's still
gentlemen, I'd like
13
to
minutes left in the
recognize
game.
Well,
some
I
of the
think
great
you need to
sponsors that
find
make
a
Orem
way
High
to
Athletics
settle
successful.
down your
We're
quarterback,
grateful for
Mason
Security
Jensen.
Service, Federal
He has
Credit
really
Union,
struggled since
Thompson
that
Orthodontics,
first drive.
Hogan
Just
Construction,
trying to get back,
Bell Photography,
feeling comfortable with
Emily
this pocket.
Ogden, We Win
But
Injury
even that
Law,
offense, we
Nickel
saw that
State Street
drop
and Orem, and
early in
Alpine
that last
Credit
drive
Union.
from them. That's just
Thanks
the
to our great
backbreakers. Do the simple
sponsors.
things, and you'll find yourself back in the game. You're very talented.
23-7, the scoring has been in this quarter in favor of the Tigers. And Kawe Akana has all 3 touchdowns here in this third quarter offensively for the Tigers. Akana will kick off, and it is a line drive kick that will go into the end zone for a touchback. And that will bring out Mason Jensen and go
into the end
to the
zone
20-yard line.
touchback.
I almost want to hasten to say, Gavin, that
Maple Mountain takes
we
over
haven't
first
called
and
Eli
10
Moonga's
from their
name that
own
much here in the
20-yard
second
line.
half. You feel like they should start getting the ball back in his hands a little bit.
And you're 100% right there. You know, what did we say when Orem's offense was sputtering? Get it into the hands of Iongi, get it into the hands of Akana. For Maple Mountain, their offense is sputtering. It's time to get it to Monga, see if he can make some things happen, settle down your quarterback, get this offense back on track.
Triple wide receiver lines up in a stack to the left, and here's a handoff, and right on cue, there is Monga! And he's chopped out of bounds across midfield. Well, I don't want to say I was Nostradamus, but I called it. And meanwhile, we have another Tiger down behind the play, as slow to get up.
Monga on the carry, picking up a
cannot ID the number on the field. It looks like
ball inside Orem territory.
It looks like it's George Boren, one of the defensive tackles.
43-yard line. And at the end of the play, there was a penalty flag.
Penalty flag is down at the end of the play. Meanwhile, Christopher Swank is coming
player
over
on the field.
I can't see a flag, but
if there is one, I don't see one either, Alex. But it looks, as our cameraman catches it for us down on the sideline, it looks like that there was a late hit on Monga. Might give him an extra 15 yards.
Yeah, and good catch by Josh Dodge over here. It's a yellow sideline, so we cannot see what the where the penalty flags are. Meanwhile, AJ Snow,
the injured Tiger player.
AJ Snow's the one who is slow to get up and coming off the field a little limpy. And Gavin, that's not a good sign if you're Orem defensive coordinator Josh Arnold. That's a key cog in your front four that's going off the field, potentially injured.
And he's just so great at getting pressure on the quarterback. His bull rush, his swim move is just really good as he lays down on the table. We hope this kid is all right.
So Christopher Swank and his crew taking a long time to sort this out. According to our cameraman Josh Dodge, who is a UHSA official himself, he thinks it's a sideline warning or sportsmanlike conduct.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Maple Mountain, 15-yard
from
the end of the run. First down.
Wow, that is a biggie. That wipes out 15 yards from a nearly 40-yard run.
The officials spot the ball at the 42-yard line.
Great catch by our cameraman. Always love to have him here to keep me in check. Now we'll see what Maple Mountain can do after that run was slightly negated.
1st and 10 from the 41. Play action, Jensen throws, that is low and incomplete. Intended for Brooks Ross.
And a really tough throw to make right there as Orem's defense getting right in the face of Jensen.
The pass falls incomplete and brings up 2nd down.
Again, no AJ Snow for Orem. Went off the field earlier.
Anderson,
he's currently getting treatment on the table. And he's trying to run it off on that near sideline as we're looking down. 1:08 to go here in the third quarter. Maple Mountain trying to get some momentum back on their side. They've given up the last 23 points. Or 21, I should say. Here's the throw by Jensen, and throw is incomplete behind Sawyer Leifson. Looks like there was some miscommunication in the receiver core, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Mason Jensen is looking extremely uncomfortable in this pocket. And that's something a great pass rush can get you. If you get that quarterback uncomfortable, he might start seeing ghosts, start throwing some inaccurate balls. Jensen has to get back on, maybe something easy. In basketball, when you're in a rut, you usually just get a layup. We'll see if he can get a layup throw.
Big 3rd down here, sprint out to the right. Jensen looking, throws, sideline, and it is high and incomplete. Intended for Morehouse.
Derek Morehouse, the intended receiver.
And it is 4th down. And you can tell that penalty really set back this Maple Mountain offense.
Defending for the Tigers.
And those penalties have just, like you said, have been
10 yards
killer.
to go for the
You
first
lose
down.
15 yards, and the momentum
Sawyer
from
Lathson
Maunga's
on to
run.
punt the ball away
I
for
like
the
the
Golden
idea
Eagles.
of getting Jensen on that bootleg, getting him running, try and get him a little more comfortable, but that pass just too high.
Sawyer Lathson will punt for the second time in this quarter. Low snap, but he's able to control it. And he gets off an end-over-end punt that's going to hit at the 26 and is going to die right at the 25-yard line. So a good punt, all things considered, and that will put Orem on the 25-yard line. We'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of high school football will continue next week. Join us from Brighton High School as Alta takes on Brighton or Skyridge takes on Lone Peak. Two great games coming up for you next week. You can find both of those games on the Rewind Sports Network.
Now, Maple Mountain's defense right here really needs to stand tall. Their offense has been in a little bit of a slump this last little bit. Defense needs to come back, come big, and bring the ball back to their offense.
Kava on first down. That's a heck of a start. Archibald puts down Felete Iyongi in the backfield like he was a pancake.
Iyongi on the carry. Loss of 5 yards on that play.
5 yards lost on that play.
And anytime you can push an offense
down.
past the sticks, further behind the sticks, is just such a big win. Now it's 2nd and 15. They have to get 7 yards per play averaging to get that first down.
There's about a 3-second difference between play clock and game clock, so Kaava will have to run another play here on the north side at the end of the quarter. Iyongi remains the single setback in the shotgun. 4 men up front. Kaava looking to throw, and he gets stripped. The ball comes out, and I think Kaava got back on top of it. And that will take us to the end of the third
and that'll
quarter.
end the third quarter of play with your score.
And I love that. Trying to get the strip sack.
The Maple Mountain's
Mountain's defense
21.
bringing some life back into their team, hoping their offense can do something. They got one more down to come or to play. See if they can get Orem off the field.
Third down and long will be coming up when we come back on the Rewind Sports Network.
Is here to support.
Well, buckle up, folks. The final 12 minutes of this Friday night here in Orem, Utah. Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson. This is the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week presented by Heidemann and Associates. Orem leads 30-21, but they have 3rd and a mile to go here on their own 14-yard line to start the final period of regulation. They bring Iyongi in motion to the right, and they just hand it off. Safe play here. And they'll get the tackle made there. Wheelo Wolfgram will on the running back for the Golden Tigers, number 4, Ryko Mickelson. And that's a big stop by that Maple Mountain defense.
It is an excellent response to that struggle, that slump from their offense on that last possession. Gets the ball back to their offense. You're starting to play the field position game.
Returner has his heels back on the tip of that Tiger paw, and it's a good punt. High drive into the wind, and everybody gets the heck out of the way. And it'll be down right at the 46-yard line or thereabouts. And with 11:14 to go in a 2-score game, Orem and their defense will come right back out of the field. Just a reminder, at the end of tonight's game, speaking of Heidemann and Associates, Gavin and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann and Associates player of the game.
1st and 10.
Now we'll see how Mason Jensen comes out on this drive. Looked a little uncomfortable these last few drives. Let's see if he can get a short out route, get something going, get some confidence back.
Referee just chucked the kicking ball almost 50 yards across the field. We have a new quarterback in the game as the pitch goes to Moonga to the right side, and Moonga goes absolutely nowhere. New quarterback in the game for Maple Mountain, that is Josh Hofer. So Jensen's night, we would assume, is done.
Eli Monga on the carry.
And this is a bit of a new wrinkle here by head coach Kalen Hall.
It's a very interesting development.
Making the tackle for the Tigers.
Maybe assuming
18,
Jensen
Owen
is just a little too rattled.
2-yard
Give the
loss on
backup
the
some
play.
reps, see if he
Second
can make
down.
something happen.
Monga remains in the backfield. Loss of 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 12 from the 43. Hofer, first pass. That is caught. That's Ross. Brooks Ross breaks a tackle, and Ross has a first down. He'll actually be marked short of the line to gain by about, call it about a hot dog bun and a half. He's right at the marker, but the marker, he'll be short by about a half a
Pass was
foot.
complete, but stopped just short of the first down.
And I would be shocked if they did not give this ball to Eli Monga.
You would think, but stranger things have happened. Triple wide receiver lines up to the left on 3rd down and less than a yard. And it is Monga, and he's got it. Right behind right guard, and Ceci Nelson able to wrestle him to the turf like a big old calf. And it's a first down.
That decision was
Picking up the
about
first
as
down
easy
for
as
the
handing
Golden
it to
Eagles.
Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl.
1st and 10 from the 43.
You did not just go there, Gavin. Oh, boy. I think we just made a whole bunch of Seahawks fans mad. Anyway, triple wide receiver lines up again to the left here on 1st and 10. Play action, throws a little high but caught. That's Morehouse. And he makes a man miss, but he's able to be brought down very effectively so by Mickelson at about the 40-yard line. Pickup of 4 on the play.
Pass complete to Derek Morehouse.
Again, Maple Mountain scored there on their opening
Joey
drives
Connor
in the
making the
first and
tackle.
second half. Had a pick 6 from Karsten Fagan.
Gain of 3 on the play.
But other than that, they have not had an
Second
offensive
down.
touchdown in almost 20 minutes of game time. And this is the first time that they have advanced into Orem territory since their opening drive. With new quarterback Josh Hofer trying to lead a late comeback. 2nd and 7 now from the 40. Hofer to pass, picks up the blitz, throws over the right side, and the pass is deflected and incomplete. As Mickelson read that like a storybook on his way out to the right side.
Pass
And if he
intended
gets
for
that,
number
that's
15,
probably
Tyler
6.
Leifson.
Riker Mickelson has been
Riker
excellent
Mickelson breaking
all
up the
night.
pass for the
Just
Tigers.
able to get his fingers on that one, tip
3rd
that
down.
one away.
7
Brings up
yards to go
a
for the first
critical
down.
3rd down for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, this could be 4-down territory considering the fact that Orem's defense has been playing, or offense has been so well-oiled here in the second half. You probably feel like Orem's got, or Maple Mountain's got 2 downs to pick up 7 yards. 3rd and 7 from the 40. Hofer from the shotgun. They pick up the blitz, and Hofer sprints out to his right. Hofer has this side of the field open, but that reacts too late, and he gets walloped. Mickelson again.
Joshua Hoffer on the carry.
And
Stopped by
it
the
looks
Tigers
like-
number 4, Riker Mickelson.
wow, this is an interesting decision here, Gavin. It looks like Kalen Hall's going to bring the punt unit out with 8:25 to go. I guess he's going to put it in the hands of his defense here.
It's very
Loss of 3 on
difficult.
the play. It'll be
I would
4th and
assume
10.
if they didn't get that
The Golden
sack,
Eagles
they
will
would have
kick
been
the ball
2-down
away.
territory, but
So Leifson now to punt, his 5th one of the game. That punt was almost blocked. And that punt is going to travel inside the 10, and what a punt. Took a couple of forward hops and dies at about the 1-yard line, and so Orem's going to have to go 99 yards and get it out of the
Kicked from
shadow of their
Tyler
own
Leifson
goal.
down inside
We'd like to
the
remind you the
5-yard
Rewind Sports
line.
Network's coverage of high school football is presented by Burt Brothers,
So the
where
Tigers
auto
will
care
begin
is done
1st and
better, and the
10.
game of the week is presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm committed to going above and beyond for the clients they serve.
Official
Call them
spot the ball
today
at the 2-yard line.
or visit them online to schedule your free consultation courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network.
and that is the second punt we've seen from Maple Mountain that has just like tiptoed along the sideline, just died and rolled down the field. And might I remind everyone, it was a very similar position on the field where Maple Mountain lost the momentum. Orem could easily lose the momentum here. Great chance for the Golden Eagles.
8:02 to go, 1st and 10 from the 2.5 for Kaava. And Kaava is going to throw. And Kaava steps up and fires down the field for Akana. He's got it!
Kaava's pass complete
Well, you heard
to
of June
Joey
would throw.
Akana.
How about Lance Reynolds would
38
throw.
yards
Lance
on the
would throw on
reception.
that play. What a
First
call.
and 10 for the Tigers and their own
And
40-yard
what a
line.
great job from the quarterback, staying calm under pressure, stepping up as he feels it closing, and finds Akana down the field for a massive pickup.
38 yards. I had to throw that Hawaii football reference in there. That eerily reminds you of the days when 1st and 10 on the 2-yard line, out of heck with it. Dan Morrison just throws the football. Now here's Iongi cutting back to the middle. And he picks up about maybe 5 yards off of that cutback to about the 44-yard line. We'd like to welcome those of you who are watching here on the Rewind Sports Network's Red
Four
Zone.
yards on the carry.
This is the voice of Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson,
Tripped
listening
up by
to us on
Ilonga.
KSL Sports Zone 97.5 FM and
Second
1280
down.
AM. It's been a humdinger of a battle here tonight between Maple Mountain and Orem. Maple Mountain had all the momentum, but Orem has scored the last 23 points. Started with a safety back at the midway point of the third quarter, and it has just snowballed from there. Double backs now next to Tatum Kaava in the shotgun on 2nd down and 6. Here's Iongi, big hole. Iongi cuts it back at the 40, still on his feet, and finally wrestled to the turf at about the 36-yard line. Another big chunk play for Feleti Iongi.
Feleti Iongi picking
And
up the Tiger
Felete
first
Iongi
down.
and Kauai Akana, it's just so hard to stop both of them. Orem
Ball
just
in Golden
functioning
Eagle
on all
territory at
cylinders,
the
running on all
36-yard line.
cylinders
First and
as this
10.
clock continues to tick.
From the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Akana lines up to the right side. Double backs either side of the quarterback, Kaava. He hands off. This is Iongi trying to bounce to the outside. Has a block there from Akana. Penalty flag goes down. And Iongi is brought down at about the 38-yard
Iongi
line.
on the
and
carry.
I suspect this is coming
Stop for a
back.
loss by the
I believe
Golden
that
Eagles,
one's
number
going to be
34,
a
Evan Hakes.
holding blindside block
Penalty
on
flags on the play
Kauai
as
Akana.
well.
As Iongi, meanwhile, tying his shoe. Christopher Swank again, for those joining us, is our official. Here's the call. Oh, waiting until they get it sorted out, trying to figure out if it was from the spot of the foul. Now we'll get the call.
Personal foul, blindside block, offense, 15 yards from the end of the run. Repeat first down.
So it's going to be from the end of the run, so it was officially no gain on the play. So they're going to
Number
back.
13.
It's on Kauai Akana. Now we're having some confusion about whether or not it's from the spot of the foul or from the previous spot. I believe this should be from the previous spot because it was officially a no-gain play, but yeah, they are going to mark it off 15 yards from the spot of the foul, and so it's going to be 1st and a mile here from the 49-yard line.
And this is a great break for Maple Mountain's defense.
So after
They
the
still
penalty,
have
the ball
all
spotted
3
at the
timeouts,
49-yard
and it's
line.
only a 9-point game. If they can get Orem off the field in a fairly
First down
timely
and
manner,
25
and their offense can
for
get
the
things
Tigers.
going, we're in for a great finish.
1st and 25 now from the 49. Remember, Kaava, has thrown 2 interceptions tonight, but you highly doubt they will throw. They will not. Iongi going to take it on the sweep to the right side. Another flag comes in from the back. And this, I think, is going to be holding, so make it 1st and a whole lot more now. As that one came from Christopher Swank, our official.
Hearing
That is
there
going to be the
is a penalty
6th
flag on the
penalty,
play as well.
I believe, against Orem. So here is Christopher Swank again.
Offense, number 4, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
He said 4. Actually, I think he meant to say 71, and that was Maui Tonata.
And if you're Lance Reynolds Jr., head coach, you've got to get your guys playing a little bit more
spotted at the
disciplined.
34-yard,
You're in a great
39-yard
position to
line,
win
correction.
this game, but
First
you've got
down
to play
and
sound
35
football.
yards for the first down.
1st down and the distance from here to Spanish Fork. Again, all 3 timeouts still in the back pocket for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Still a 2-score game, but time not on the side of Kalen Hall's crew. They motion a man out of the backfield. It's a handoff to Iyungi up the middle, and he gets nailed after a pickup of maybe a couple. And he'll be brought down officially after a gain of 3. Clock continues to run with under 5 minutes to go.
And we'll see Maple Mountain hold on to their timeouts right here, as it's all but a formality that this will be a 3-and-out. Barring a crazy play, Maple Mountain should get the ball back, and I'm assuming they're going to want those timeouts for their next possession on defense.
Now remember, unlike in college football, there is no 2-minute warning. I should say, unlike in college football, high school football in Texas, and the NFL and other spring leagues, there are no 2-minute warnings here in Utah. Kaava, throw the short way. That is complete to Akana. Akana breaking a couple of tackles. He's going to get brought down at about the 43-yard line. It'll make a 3rd down and call it about maybe 15 yards, but given that it's 4 minutes to go, Gavin, you can't imagine offensive coordinator Mick Hickson is going to call a passing play here on 3rd and 15.
I would imagine you play a little more conservative. Your defense has played really well this entire half. You give this one to Iyungi, see what happens,
and about 17
and then
yards for the first
trot
down.
out there with your defense.
3 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. Still all 3 timeouts for head coach Kalen Hall. Maple Mountain not out of it quite just yet. 3rd and 17. And they bring the house. Blitz coming off the edge. Kaava better throw it. He does. He gets it to Iyungi, and Iyungi's going to be brought down by a host of white shirts at about the 30, call it the 36-yard line. And Kalen Hall will burn the first
on the field
of his 3 timeouts. There's a flag down on the field. I'm sorry, not a timeout. It's a penalty flag, and I assume that Kalen Hall is going to decline this penalty. It's going to be on the Tigers.
From where this one is thrown, it looks like a holding.
Right. Here's Christopher Swank again.
Offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down. 71.
So the holding called on Maui Tonata, and Kalen Hall will indeed burn the first of his 3 timeouts now, with 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Maple Mountain with one last shot coming up here. They're down by 9. Well, what a finish we're in for here in the heart of Utah Valley. Alexander Timolip and Gavin Atkinson, the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates, 30-21 in favor of Orem. And they have the house lined up, ready to go here for a block punt. And as they do so, Lance Reynolds saw it, and he will call a timeout with 3 minutes and 23 left to go here
their second
in the
timeout
4th
of
quarter.
the half.
So, Gavin Atkinson joining me, Alexander Timolip. Gavin, I now turn to you, and I kind of think about what the strategy is going to be here for Kalen Hall, because you have 2 timeouts. Obviously, this isn't college football, this isn't NFL football or pro spring league ball. You don't have the 2-minute warning. So how aggressive do you have to be in order to save yourself for that last chance?
Well, you have to be very aggressive because you burned one of your timeouts. You cannot stop the clock on all 3 plays if you get a 3-and-out. So you have to leave yourself enough time for that play clock to run down. And it's going to be interesting to see how this offense runs, if they're going to bring back Mason Jensen,
or if they'll stick with Josh Hofer. Meanwhile, we're going to have a field goal by Akana. This is a big risk.
Akana on to attempt a
This is a 54-yard field goal.
We'll see.
This is a big risk being taken here by Lance Reynolds. It's a good snap, good hold, kick is up, it looks good, and it's short. So in essence, it's a punt. So it works out about as well as it could have there for the Orem Tigers, but we go back to what I was talking about earlier, Gavin.
From the 20-yard line.
This is the question I have, Gavin. If you have the opportunity to take a field goal on 2nd or 3rd down instead of 7, do you take that? That's the question I think that's got to be in your mind right now if you're head coach Kalen Hall and offensive coordinator Brigham Fano.
And that is the dilemma for these coaches right here, because you're running out of time. Time is your worst enemy right here, and you're down 2 possessions.
3 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Jensen looking for one last gasp. He's back in. Jensen to throw on 1st down. Throw. Pass is deflected. and incomplete, and it's that man Mickelson again. That is his third PBU of the night. He also has an interception and a fumble recovery to his credit.
He's been all over the gridiron today, really playing well.
Tigers, number 4,
it's good to see Jensen back out there for Maple Mountain. We'll see if him and his offense can get something going.
Obvious 4-down territory here for Maple Mountain, down by 9 points with 3 minutes to go. Triple wide receiver lines up in a stack to the left. They show blitz, and here they come. Jensen to throw, throws it deep. Thrower Ross, a lot of contact, incomplete, and there is no flag. It looked like Ross got hit early, but Ross does not put up much of a protest, so it doesn't look like that was any kind of intentional contact on the part of the defense.
And it did look like the contact was fairly incidental.
Third down.
But man, if you're Maple Mountain, you're just wishing that receiver could have found that ball off the tip, because it bounced right in front of him in the end.
Will Robinson and Malosi Ilawa on the coverage. Now 3rd and 10. Maple Mountain just 2 of 10 on third downs tonight. Here comes the pressure. Jensen slides out. Now throws up the sideline. It is caught by Sawyer Leifson. And for the first time in a long time, the Golden Eagles convert a third down. That's the first one they've converted since early in the second quarter, and it comes with 2 minutes and 52 seconds and rolling left here in regulation.
First down.
Jensen quickly back to work. Jensen in trouble. Gets away. Now he goes down.
And on those last 2 plays, we've just seen Eli Monga struggling to pick up that blitz. He got laid out on the play before, but Jensen able to find his receiver for that first down. But that sack is massive. This Orem defense will not slow down. They are relentless. Maple Mountain has to burn that second timeout. Really need to score fast.
So at 2:36 to go, Caleb Hall's the playbook at this point is just 4 verticals, I would think, downfield, and hope you get a PI call, because it's second down and from the 26 to the 49, 2nd and 23. I mean, of all the things you couldn't have there, Gavin, you couldn't have a sack. But you're just right. Orem's defense just relentless here in the second half.
And if you're Orem's defense, you cannot fall into the trap of dropping 8. You can't play prevent yet. I believe prevent
on that last play.
And this is my own philosophy.
Second down and 24.
With plays like the Miami Miracle, where Gronk is off at safety, and other similar prevent plays, you still got to bring some pressure. You can't sit back on your heels and be passive.
2nd and 24. Need to get to the 49 for a first down. Time running out for the Golden Eagles. And possibly an undefeated record. Here's a tunnel screen, and it's dropped. Leifson took his eyes off it before he could go upfield. And it's going to be 3rd and Santaquin here for the Golden Eagles.
Incomplete. 3rd down and 24.
Now, you don't have much in the playbook for this type of situation. We'll see what Maple Mountain goes with. We saw the attempt of a screen right there, trying to get some green grass, but
what a response by this Orem defense. 2 minutes and 30 seconds away. Time running out on the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. And before it happens, Lance Reynolds II will take his final timeout. It'll just build the drama a little bit more.
This time not taken by
the Orem Golden Tigers, 2 downs away from handing Maple Mountain their first loss of 2024.
For the first down.
Time running out on the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. 3rd down and Santaquin. With 2:29 to go, Mason Jensen, a 4-man rush. Pressure coming. Rolls to his right. Now looking up the sideline. Going to take off. And he is going to get out of bounds to stop the clock. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Mason Jensen on the carry, knocked out of bounds.
So it'll be 4th and 14. And now
at the 37-yard line.
Maple Mountain's undefeated season comes down to this.
4th down, 12 yards to go for the first down.
And if you want to talk about an onside conversion, here it is, 4th and 12 for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. They are 2 of 12 on third downs tonight. Have to go for it, and you have to think they've got to make it with an undefeated season on the line and time running out. No timeouts for Orem. Jensen a throw, rolls to his left, throws up the sideline. It is caught by Brooks Ross.
What a great catch, pitch and catch, but you got to be quick. The clock's still running.
Complete to number 29, Brooks Ross.
Malunga remains in the backfield.
First down for the
and
Golden
10 from the
Eagles.
Orem 49. Here is Ross again, and our Ross steps out of bounds with a gain of 5.
Brooks Ross on the reception.
With 2:03 left to go. What a
Gain
clutch
of 5 on the
conversion
play. Second down.
by Mason Jensen of Brooks Ross. Ross, by the way, who had that ridiculous 3-catch, 115-yard, and 2-touchdown game last weekend against the Wasatch Wasps. Second down. 30-28 and 30-21 in favor of Orem. Just 4 men on the rush. Pass caught. That's Ross. And Ross close to the first
Pass
down. He's
complete to
out of
Brooks
bounds at the 40-yard line with 2 minutes exactly
4-yard
left to
gain.
go
Third down
here
and
in
1.
regulation.
And just when you think Maple Mountain is out of it, they have the odds stacked against them. They find a way to convert on 4th down and keep their hopes alive.
You have to think this would be a running play to Malunga here, despite the fact there's 2 minutes left and 1 timeout. And it's going to be a pass. And Jensen throws down the seam. It is caught for a first down. Complete to Stonebreaker, his first
That pass
catch
complete
of
to
the
number
entire
18,
game.
Max Stonebreaker.
And we have a player
That's
injured,
good for a Maple Mountain first down.
and that's
at the
Kalwe
30-yard line.
Akana.
Great.
Oh my, that's not a player you want to see holding his shoulder coming off the field. But meanwhile, it's 1st and 10 for Maple Mountain at the Orem 30. Approaching field goal range, but they're not thinking about that right now. And we have a penalty flag down. And it's going to be offside against Orem.
Officials
That'll be
blow
the
the play
7th
dead.
penalty of the night against the Tigers.
That penalty against the Tigers moves
And
the ball to the
Orem
25-yard
really
line, where
needs
it's
to
first
find a way to
down
stay disciplined,
and
as
5.
Maple Mountain is really executing their 2-minute offense right now. They're getting the ball down the field and they're getting out of bounds, finding the holes in the zone.
Double wide receivers to either side. A touchdown makes it a 2-point game. And we have a stoppage of play as the head linesman's coming over to talk to Christopher Swank. I think they're trying to figure out where the ball should be spotted. And they're going to have a little bit of a mini conference here. While they do so, we'll take the time to remind you that at the conclusion of tonight's game, Gavin and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game, the player who went above and beyond the call for his team here tonight. Heidemann & Associates is a proud law firm sponsor of KSL Sports Rewind and our Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann & Associates. So it seems after the conference, the spot of the ball is correct. And they are going to reset the clock to 1 minute and 55 seconds as the play was not, as it was deemed a dead ball foul prior to the snap. Approaching 9:30 p.m. local time here in Orem, Utah. Golden Tigers trying to hold off Maple Mountain here late. 1:55 left in regulation. Jensen a throw. Throws for the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown! Darren Morehouse, and Maple Mountain has life!
Touchdown, Maple Mountain.
What a toe tap! Able to get that foot down, bring Maple Mountain back into this game. Just when you think they're dead, they
Scoring
find a way
touchdown,
to
number 2,
keep
Derek
kicking.
Morehouse.
That's Morehouse's 5th catch of the game. And Fernando Banuelos will now come on to try to make it a 2-point game. As the Golden Eagles are short a couple of people on their kick team. And even if this kick is blocked, it will still remain a field goal game. Good snap, good hold. Banuelos' kick is up. And it is good, and it is a
kick is good.
2-point game.
And with 1 minute 49
And now,
seconds
Gavin
to play
Atkinson, I
tonight's
turn to
game,
you
your
and
score,
I
the
say to
Orem
you,
Golden Tigers 30.
with one
the
timeout
Maple
left to
Mountain
go
Golden
for the
Eagles,
Golden
28.
Eagles of Maple Mountain, this game basically now comes down to an onside kick.
And you just, because you had to use those timeouts, you don't have the option of kicking it off. I can't do the math in my head right now, but even if you did kick it off, a first down would end the game. We'll see what Maple Mountain elects to do here. Even after that excellent effort, odds are still stacked against them.
But even if they get even if they get the onside kick, it's basically over because Maple Mountain has one timeout. So this kick at this point has to be absolutely perfect. Maple Mountain's undefeated season now rides on the foot of number 38, Fernando Banuelos. On one kick of the ball. Maple Mountain's undefeated season comes down to this play. And before it happens, Kalen Hall will take a snapshot of what's on the field.
Timeout on the field,
and he will take a timeout.
Eagles,
and so
third
now
final
this
timeout of the half.
effectively will end the football game if Orem recovers the football. Speaking of Orem, we'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of Orem Tigers football will continue next week from Eagle Mountain, Utah. Join us as the Orem Tigers take on the Cedar Valley Aviators. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. on your home for Orem Tigers football, the Rewind Sports Network. What a game we have had here tonight in Orem, Utah. Alexander Kimmelip alongside Gavin Atkinson. Orem took the lead with 23 consecutive points, but Maple Mountain about to put up the biggest onside kick of their season to try and keep their hopes of an undefeated season alive.
And it really does feel like a tale of two halves as Maple Mountain went into halftime up 7 points, 14-7. Orem got some momentum scoring late in the half. And then Orem has not looked back since their first drive in the third quarter.
So here we go. No timeouts either side. Banuelos kicks it off. It is a scramble for the ball, and I think the white shirts have it. Scramble at the bottom of the pile. Who's got it? They're all digging down there. Who's the officials give it to? No signal yet. They're still fighting for it. Simultaneous possession. Golden Eagles have it. Unbelievable. No, wait a minute. The Tigers recovered it. Hold on a minute. And Kalen Hall cannot believe it.
Penalty flags on the field following the onside kick.
The officials
Craziness ensues.
Officials are going to have a lot to sort out. As I was preparing for another 2 minutes of Maple Mountain's 2-minute offense.
It appeared that Maple Mountain recovered the onside kick, but they say Orem recovered it. What a crazy finish. And meanwhile, I believe Kalen Hall has just been ejected. Chris Swank has a monster assortment of penalties to sort out. Let's listen in.
We have 2 unsportsmanlike conduct. Assistant coach, Maple Mountain. 30 yards will be assessed.
Wow.
With the recovery of the ball. First down, Orem.
And this game is over.
And Alex, the only thing I can think of as to why the officials gave the ball to Orem is that they grabbed the ball, they secured the ball while it was down on the ground before the scrum.
First and 10
We're so far away, I
17-yard
can't see
line.
if that's what happened, but I imagine maybe one of the officials got eyes on the Orem hands team member with the ball down on the ground, blowing the play dead.
Wow. What a crazy end. And this is going to be a game that's going to be talked about for a while, not because of what happened on the field, but because of that play. As this game is basically all said and done. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line with 1 minute 45 to go. Handoff goes to Iyongi. He'll get down. No more timeouts for the Golden Eagles. And they can salt this one away. Gavin, you have to feel for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Such a tough way to end it, but it's what it comes down to, unfortunately. We're so far away. We don't have the ability to do instant replay. I sorely wish we did, but that's one of those times where, Gavin, if you're a Maple Mountain fan, that call is going to sting you for a very, very long time for the rest of the season.
And you're completely right.
So
football that my dad would tell me, you can't leave it in the hands of the refs.
3rd down.
You know, there's a lot of things
down.
Both teams could have done better. And both teams have got to hold their heads up high, because this was an excellent football game. Maple Mountain could have left early. Well, could have lost hope, but they didn't. Found their way to fight their way back into this game.
Gava will just take a knee. And the undefeated season is history. And on this Aloha Friday, it's the team who wears the O that will celebrate a victory Monday. The Orem Tigers are victorious in a crazy, controversial end to this game. We will be back to wrap it all up and react on a wild night here in Orem, Utah. The Tigers win 30-28. Welcome back to for joining me here on the Game of the Week. The Rewind Sports Network's coverage of high school football continues next week. Check out KSLSports.com for a full list of the games we'll be streaming next week. And be sure to catch our Game of the Week on the Rewind Sports Network every Friday night on KSLSports.com. Now, for Gavin Atkinson, for Josh Dodge, and for Vince Francis, and the rest of our KSL Sports Rewind crew, I'm Alexander Smollett, bidding you aloha from Utah and reminding you to take care of one another, everyone. We'll see you next week, and good night.